All right, let's talk about playing defense in our defensive zone. First and foremost thing is this green area is called the house, and we do not want them to shoot from the house. The blue area is called the low slot. We really, really don't want them to shoot from that area. So what we're going to try and do is keep them outside of the house so that nobody gets the ability to shoot in there. We're going to do that by doing a technique called the box plus one. And that is where the left wing sits up here, the right wing sits up here, the left D is here, the right D is here, and the center's in the middle. Basically, we got a box. And at its most general form, when say a puck is up here in the upper left, the left wing then will take off out to there and go straight at that guy with the puck. And then the center will take his spot right here. So basically we keep the box here, and then the left wing is up here. But this is at its most general form. The puck comes down here, then the left D comes out. He goes out there, comes out to defend the puck that's here. The left wing leaves here. He goes back into his spot, and the center takes that spot. Again, this is the most general form, but the idea I want you to get from this is when you go out in your spot and the puck leaves your area, you got to get back. You got to make sure that you're keeping everybody outside of this green area. The puck's down there. So we'll have some shifts as well too if the puck's on one side or the other. So to do this, we're going to make some agreements. And then what we're going to try and do is set it up so that if the puck comes into this quadrant, then the left wing is the one that's responsible for going after the puck carrier. Same thing with the right quadrant, upper right quadrant, right wing, lower right D, lower left D is got the lower left-hand quadrant. One exception to this is if their center, say their forward comes down here with a puck and the left D comes out and they have another forward here, say their center, and he passes it there, then our center will come and assist. But that's, for the most part, this is what we're doing for who is going to be the priority person going after the puck in that area. Now also, I want to make it simpler for us all as well too, and say that the left wing is only responsible for stuff in this quadrant. He is going to watch all the opposing players that go into that quadrant when the puck's not in his quadrant. I'm thinking when the puck's not in his quadrant, he's just responsible for here, and he's going to stay in this area. He can go wherever he wants. For the most part, I love this. The puck's on this side of the ice. I love this spot, but we'll talk about that in a second. So then if the puck then comes into his quadrant, then he immediately attacks it. Kind of the same thing then if it's passed over to the right quadrant, the right wing was here, he immediately attacks it. So, and then the left wing comes back into here to guard it. Our goal is to completely protect the house so that nobody gets a shot again in the house. So same thing with the left D. They're only responsible for the guys that are in this area, you know, all the way in through here. They're both sides here like this. And then the center assists in, I'll show you mostly. The center mostly stays in this area and below in here. Remember, he's the third defenseman because the other team has three forwards. So the left D, if the puck's over here, mostly the right D is in the net front. So if they have a forward in the net front, and the left D is on this puck, then the center is adjusting to wherever the other forward is. So, but mostly I want him to hang around down in this area. So protecting the front of the net and assisting to stuff that's going on behind the net. So, great. So here's one scenario that we have. The puck is down in the lower left. The left D comes out. The center comes out to this close to this line where his spot was. The right D is on the net front. The right wing, he is on top of the slot, and the left wing is on top of the face-off circle. You can see this horrendous wall that's right here. These guys have created a giant wall right here, not allowing this to come in to the house. So, and then again, so I think that's a pretty default setup. And so I imagined that this is what they had for a setup against it. Puck again is in the lower left-hand corner. You got one of their forwards is at net front. So the right D is between him and the net. The other forward is up here, kind of in the outside the slot, but in the house. So the center is there guarding him. The center is just close enough to him that if this guy does get a pass to him, then the center is going to get there a couple of seconds earlier and make it so that he can't really receive that pass. So the pass just keeps going. So that's the distance. But he's also trying to protect a pass that goes across as well too. And he's also watching to see if this left D happens to separate the puck from the forward so he can come and pick it up as well too. So you're basically got your eyes on a swivel between looking at your guy and looking at the play, looking at your guy, looking at the play. So one thing they recommend over here for the left wing is to have his skates facing this way. So that way he then can look at his guy that's in his zone and look at the play. Look at the guy in the zone, look at the play, back and forth. And he's sideways. If the puck does come up this way, then he can just sprint himself out, a couple of crossovers, and he's on this guy right there in front. You want to maybe go just a little bit to the outside because you'd rather have him go outside than come inside. So, but you sprint at him and you stop right in front of him and then try and separate him from the puck, block any shots, whatever you're going to do. But basically, that is the lower scenario when we have the puck. And of course, wherever the forwards go, like this forward might come all the way out here. The center doesn't have to come all the way out here on him. He could stay close to here as well too, because he's kind of worthless there. But the guy could give him a pass, and then the center can jump him when he moves the pass. But you don't have to be way out here, but you definitely want to be between the net and the house from the guy that you're covering. So, but that's the basic scenario. When the puck's in the lower left, it'll be exactly the same when the puck's in the lower right. It's just the other defenseman. So our other scenario is that the puck is up at the defenseman. So the left wing has come out and is on him. Again, like I said, when he came out, kind of a little bit wide, favor the inside so that he'll go that way. A lot of people say the right wing does not have to react yet. So he can stay low on top of the slot because he's guarding all kinds of stuff. Got a stick over here, pass over here. He's got that intercepted. And by default, the left D and the right D are doing net front because you imagine two forwards are trying to go net front. So the scenario I was trying to work out there was this. So you have a D here. He's got the puck. There's the other D. There are the three forwards in front of the net. Again, the defensemen are between the forwards and the net, and the center has found the other forward, and the right wing is right there on top of the slot. A lot of people think that there's enough time for the pass and the right wing just to get up on top of him in his face as well too. He comes back. That's basically how we move around. But again, trying to keep them outside of the house. Don't let them get a pass or skate in with the puck into the house. So this scenario is pretty simple with us coming in and out. It gets complicated in two different areas. And that is when they try and carry the puck across our quadrant lines. So again, this is the stuff for the left wing. This is stuff for the left D. So in this picture, I have two different scenarios. One of them is here on the left where the left D, the puck carrier is here. So forget this. The puck carrier over here has the puck and he is skating it across this quadrant line. So in this case, in all cases, by default, I want us to hand off that guy to the next zone. So if he skates up in through here with the puck, then he'll yell switch, 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 and the left wing will come over and pick him up. And then the left D will come back into the house to figure out what he needs to do defensively. Now it's a little bit more complicated behind the net. So, but again, let's imagine the left D is here. Left D is here with the puck, and he's following this. Left D is following the guy with the puck. He skates across this quadrant line. Then the right D is here ready to come get him. The left D comes back in the middle. But the right D cannot leave yet until he makes sure that all the other opponents are covered. This guy cannot score from back here. So you don't have to go racing after him, but you can't, then it'll switch, it'll go to you. And hopefully like the lefty will yell switch, switch, switch. So if by chance that you don't want to do a switch, you could just yell you're going to keep it. But by default, if there's no communication, I want you guys to think that we're going to do the switch. You're going to let that guy, let the other D in the quadrant take the puck carrier. So that's what we're going to go. So by default, again, we're just going to hand off. So we're going to do a switch. So that's basically what I have for you. Let's go over real fast. Game conclusion. Never let them shoot inside the house, and never let them shoot inside the slot. The left wing has the puck carrier for the first moment when he comes into the left wing, and he's only responsible for covering this area of the ice. He doesn't have to worry about anything else that's going on in the rest of the part of the rink. And then again, if the puck is in his area, he is on that puck. Rest of the time, he's being patient. If the puck's down here, he's basically here. And if the puck is over here, then he's basically here. And then same thing mirrored for the other guys. The left D is mostly net front if the puck's over here, and the right D is over here, and the center's trying to figure out where the other forward is. Really, really, really pretty simple on how to do all that kind of stuff. But again, at the end, the big problems is when a guy carries the puck across these boundaries, and we are by default going to do the handoff. So we'll do a switch, yell for a switch, and it'll go. If you want to keep it, you say, I'm going to stay on him, I'm on him, I'm on him. But for the most part, we're going to do the switch. All right, that's it. Thanks a lot.